Hello. Today we're going to take a look at how we set up our network. This is useful for myself and maybe for you if you have purchased a new router, for example, or you have a new network setup. So I'm going to use my example here that I have for port forwarding. And this is a screenshot of my old router. And I have an API, a PayPal, web chat, and SQL that I'm mostly interested in. I know the SQL is on a dynamic originally, or it was on the pre-assigned, and then the rest of these just kind of went in order. So this was no longer the case because my IP actually did change um, when I purchased a new router. So what we're going to do is we're going to get back to these basic settings. So first thing you need to do is go into your router itself, or your new router 168.1.1. This is my address. So first thing I had to do once I get signed in and all that good stuff, I had to go to advanced. And then I had to set up the router to use this IP, or this subnet rather, I should say. Because originally it was 0.1 and I wanted it to be 1.1, matching my netgear. So I had to change that. That was step one. And then once I got that done, you need to remote into the server, and you need to go to my network settings. And in here, when I checked this originally, it was obtaining an IP automatically, and it should have been set statically. So this is my default IP address originally, which that's fine. I mean, I could set it to the 150 so it would match all my original settings, but I went ahead and just decided to get this 247, which is what DHCP assigned to it originally when I hooked up the new router. However, I needed to add multiple IPs. Because I needed more than one IP address to run. So, in order to get all this set up, you need to go into your command prompt. And you need to do the /all. So it's something I skipped or I missed last time when I was in here. Which now I'm probably going to have more than one IP. But the DNS was the part that was confusing the most. Because the rest of the stuff I knew where to get it, but the DNS I wasn't really sure where that was coming from. And it's actually listed in here. I can find it. Yeah, here it is. DNS servers, which is my default gateway, which is fine. And then this 8.8.8.8 is apparently Google's default DNS. It's a public DNS that you can also use. So go ahead and just put that in there as an alternative, and it works just fine. But you don't even have to have an alternative. You can just leave that blank. So next, you go into here, and then you can add your different IP addresses that you want to have additionally to the one that you have currently. So I just added my 151 and 152. And then you just click OK, and then you check this validate settings upon exit, which I'm not going to do it because I already validated. And then you click OK, and Windows will run a check to see if your network is valid. In my case, my network was valid. It was perfectly fine. So I just clicked cancel because there was nothing to troubleshoot. And I know that it's successful when I'm looking at it and I can see traffic coming in and traffic going out. We can also test those additional IPs though. We can ping them, so just load up command prompt. I believe that's one of them. Let's go double check though. Let's not guess. Let's know. Oh, it's 151, so I would have not gotten anything back on that ping. So we're going to ping it, see what the response is. It looks like it was good. 0 lost. So yes, the IP now is officially working. I can go in to my IIS and I can switch my API binding to match that new address for the API for the website. So I'm going to edit this. And that's the 151 is the one I want for the API. I'm going to apply that. I'm going to restart my website and recycle my app pool. And then I need to go to my router. There we go. Is it NAT forwarding? And I'm going to have to adjust this API to point to that. And that'll point to that. And I'll save this. And then I'll use my cell phone real quick. Just pull up one of my apps. And hopefully I'll be able to log in. We're going to find out real fast if this is going to work. And it looks like it's working now. So now I'm back in business. I'm back to matching, starting to match this at least. This original setup here that I had. Now, I haven't added my PayPal or the other stuff back in yet, but I can do that easily now that I have those additional IPs available. The one that I'm keeping separate from the rest is the SQL, which is perfectly fine. But what this does is apparently helps with network load balancing and some other optimizations apparently. I don't know how true that is, but it seems to work much faster when I separate them. As far as communication goes on login and whatnot, so I'm assuming there's some truth to that. Eventually, I'll probably get multiple network cards to further increase the performance, but for now, this setup seems to work. Alright, I hope this video helps.